Today, as we begin the season of Lent, right off the bat, we get a contradiction. The first reading says this. It was beautifully proclaimed. Even now, says the Lord, return to me with your whole heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Rend your hearts, not your garments, and return to the Lord your God. Blow the trumpet in Zion, proclaim a fast. Notify the congregation, and it goes on. It's saying to do very publicly these penances, because for the people of the time of Jesus, when they sinned, they would tear their garment, and they would put ashes on their head, so that everybody in the community knew they were a sinner. They publicly said, "I have sinned. I am a sinner." And they didn't hide it. In fact, they were asked to take a good look at it, to notice it, and to admit it, and to say to God, "I'm sorry," and then to begin to put their life back together. But even though they would tear their garments, because that was what they did, God was speaking through the prophet saying, more important than that is to tear your heart. Rip open your heart. Not literally, but let your heart be super present to you and know in your heart that you have sinned, and then express it with the tearing of garments, and then change and put your life back together. But then we come to the gospel. It says the exact opposite. When you fast, don't do it in public. When you pray, go to a hidden room. Don't go on stand on the corner and, "Hello, Lord," and make a big scene about your prayer. Do it privately. And when you give money, don't announce to everybody just how much you gave. Don't do a phony thing like pick up your bill and put it in the collection basket and drop it so that everybody sees it. "Oh my God, he gave $100. Oh my God, look at that." Because then you got the praise that you're looking for. This season, it's not a sad season. People think it is. They have to do penance, can't eat candy, can't eat ice cream, can't do this, can't do that, don't listen to music, don't watch TV. You may do those things because you say, "I am willing to go without a little bit." But here's a better reason than just to make a show of it. To realize there are about 80,000 homeless right now in the United States. I think at least that. You know, if you go down to the river there, you've got people sleeping along the river. Not because they like rivers, and not because they like to hear the flow of the water, although they may, but because they don't have a place to go to. People sleeping in their cars because they don't have a place to go to. People who don't eat sometimes for a whole day or two because they don't have any money. And so maybe if we go without something that we really like during this Lent, it's just 40 days, 40 nights, let's just say it's chocolate. We love chocolate. And say, "I'm going to give up chocolate, not because I have to punish myself, not so I can suffer, but maybe so I can relate to people who have given up a whole bunch more. They don't even have a bed to sleep in. They don't even have a bed to sleep in." This season of Lent is a holy, sacred time where we can make changes in our lives and grow. You know, yesterday, and I don't remember this ever happening before, but I'm sure it has, we had a reading that said, "You are ambassadors of Christ." I'm sure you all know what an ambassador is, but an ambassador is somebody from this country who goes to another country to represent this country to them, and also to gather information and see how these people are, and so that there's a linkage, so that there is a connection between the two countries. And in fact, Vatican City, where the Pope lives, the tiniest nation in the world, he has ambassadors, bishops, archbishops who are from every country of the world. There's an ambassador, so that they can hear what he wants to share with the people of that country, and the ambassador can speak for the Pope. And yesterday, it said, we are ambassadors of Christ. And this is what I think this day means. When we get the ashes as we're leaving the church, we're going to have 4 lines go out the front doors and one on each side. and receive the ashes as you go out. And the reason I like to do it then is that you get this idea, I'm receiving these ashes, not just to receive them, but take them out into the world. So don't wash your face today. Let it be covered with ashes, okay? And if you go in the market, consider it a prize. If somebody says, oh, honey, you need to wash your face. Your face is dirty. And then you can say, no, these are ashes. I have ashes because we're beginning Lent today. And that way you are an ambassador for Christ. You're telling the world, just with a mark of a cross on your forehead with ashes, what you believe and who you are. Today marks the beginning of Lent. And one of the things I really wish you would all do is every day read the gospel for the Mass, even if you don't come to church. You all know it. You should know it by now. You just go to usccb.com. USCCB, that stands for United States Conference of Catholic Bishops. usccb.org. And they have every day the scriptures for the Mass. And you could read it all, but at least read the gospel and see if that would help us all to become a little bit more gospel-oriented, a little bit more receivers and givers of the word. And maybe that in itself might bring some change and new life to us this year. Please stand.